Hello, everybody. It looks like we are live. We are live. So, welcome to Holistic Wellness Wednesday. Today is a really exciting topic because today we are talking about finding the hero within. Finding the hero within. So, if you are seeing me from my email link. If you received an email today, this morning, letting you know that we would be doing this live, then you will have seen that there was a YouTube link in that email referencing a documentary that I was able to see. I think yesterday was the first day I saw it. Seems like it's been a few days. I've actually watched it a couple times because I listened to it while I'm driving. But anyway, I was so inspired by this, and this was all brought about. I participated in a training and a workshop from one of my favorite mentors. Just give a shout out to Ariella Indigo if any of you are familiar with her. She's an amazing way shower, and in her most recent training that I was on, she talked about this idea of the hero's journey and actually recommended that we watch that documentary. So that's why I watched it, and I was just blown away. So the idea of the hero's journey, I'll see if I can throw out some examples for you guys. So if you have ever seen, I'm sure you've seen one of these movies, either Star Wars or The Wizard of Oz, that's a classic, or The Matrix, which is a favorite of mine. And there was one other one that it's escaping me right now. But if you've ever seen any of those movies, you'll notice that the main character got to go on a very specific journey. Harry Potter, that's the other one. Um, and the journey, the hero's journey, it looks like you're in the world, like your normal everyday life, and then all of a sudden something happens to shake up that life. So if we look at these movies as an example, in The Wizard of Oz, a tornado came and totally took Dorothy to a different land. Um, or in Star Wars, it's been many years since I've seen that, but from what I remember, I believe Luke um, was told or began to understand that he had the ability to tap into the force, right? So anyway, we'll use Dorothy as an example because I think that's the most common. You're living your everyday life. All of a sudden something happens in your life that totally changes everything. It shakes everything up in it, and it's a situation that requires you to step into a way of being of courage. It requires you to have courage. It's something that happens that shakes you up, that makes you feel a little doubtful that things are going to be okay, maybe, or just something. It could be something surprising too. Like in Harry Potter, for example, he was just noticing, wow, I have these magical powers, and then he turns 11 and Hagrid comes and says, you get to go to wizard school now, and he's like, what? I'm not a wizard. It's like, yes you are. So like something happens in your life that changes everything. The way that you have understood your life up to that point changes, and so then you're seeing things from a brand new perspective, kind of like how we were talking last week of looking at the horizon. And when you take certain steps, you see things from a different perspective. When this thing happens in your life, whether it's a tornado or, loss of job. I know many people had to lose hours of work over the past year. So that could be something. That's why a lot of spiritual teachers were talking about last year with the pandemic being like a turning point and a tool to shift us all into a higher way of being, because it's a very it qualifies as one of those life events that turns everything upside down and just changes your whole perspective of life. So then you go through the journey. Then you're going through this journey of trying to figure out this new way of being and this new way of operating from this new perspective. It might literally be a new world, like Harry Potter went to a different world, so to speak. He went to wizarding school. He was in a new place. Neo in the Matrix actually was experiencing a whole different reality, because then he was like awake to the fact that like he was in a Matrix. Or Dorothy going to the land of Oz. You know, she literally went to a different place. So it could be literal. You might move somewhere, go to a different place, or it could be metaphorical, meaning that now you've shifted your whole perception of life, and so now you're seeing things from a different way, which causes you to have a totally different experience of your reality. So for you, it's as if you are in a new reality. So then you have to navigate that reality, and you have to go through it and figure out how's it work, and what's my mission here. And you might have different challenges pop up, different initiations that pop up for you, and you're going through and you're figuring it all out. And you might feel scared, and you might feel like, how the hell is this going to happen? But you find the courage to move forward. And after you go through these challenges and you go through whatever experience it is that you're meant to experience, and you get to the other side and you've gained something. You've learned something. You've achieved a level of wisdom that you didn't have before, and you never would have had if you hadn't gone through the experience that you went through. So then you take that wisdom that you've gained from this crazy experience, it often feels very crazy, and you bring it back to your home. It's like a circle. You often come full circle, and you'll come back to where you started, but you'll be like a new person from who you were before, because now you've gained all this wisdom. Now you see everything in a different way, and life feels kind of like you've been reborn and that everything is new, even though you've gone back to where you were. And it's like things are the same, but they're not the same. Right? They could never be the same ever again. So that's the story. That's the story. It looks like we're buffering here, so if you're missing bits and pieces of this, I do apologize. um we'll see how the recording turns out. But that's the journey. That's the journey of the hero. The hero starts off living everyday life. Something happens, boom, that shakes up that life. They go through their initiation, experience the challenges, find the courage to overcome and move through those challenges, and then they come out on the other side with all this new wisdom that they now get to share with the world around them. That's pretty much that's the hero's journey in a nutshell. And the cool thing is, each and every one of you, if you're hearing my voice right now, no matter who you are, where you are the hero of your own life. You are the hero. You are in the hero's journey right now. Right now, as you're hearing me speak, you are in the hero's journey. And you might be thinking, like, I'm not I'm not Dorothy. I didn't go to the land of Oz. I didn't have a tornado hit my house. You might have a totally different experience, a totally different understanding. Or you might be thinking, like, well, I'm not like Harry Potter. Like, come on. But each and every one of us has our own very unique set of challenges that we have agreed to go through in this life, so we can gain that wisdom that we get to have at the end. It's all about learning and growing spiritually, holistically, physically, emotionally, mentally, and all of it. It's all about growing in all of those different ways. There will be experiences and challenges that pop up for you in this lifetime, whether they're physical or like a health crisis, like a pandemic, like whatever, or an accident, something that's physical. It could be emotional or mental. It could be the loss of a loved one. It could be a change of location, moving. It could be a change of job. And spiritual is another one. It could be something happens where you, everything that you understood spiritually, something happens that causes that to shift. It could be a story that someone else tells. It could be an actual spiritual experience that you have. It could be a near-death experience. It could be anything. It could be anything. But the point is, you'll have these experiences, and then you get to create your hero's journey from those experiences. You get to move through them with courage, which can be the hardest part, but we get to move through them with courage and discover that when you come out the other side, it you always had you always had the power and the strength within you. Isn't that the moral when you look at these movies? And these movies are just examples. There's so many more movies. And why do we create movies like this? Because it mirrors the journey. It speaks to this journey. This is why movies like this are the top sellers. This is why they're like, the blockbuster hit, so to speak, and why we flock to them, why we love them so much, because it shows us the journey that we know instinctively, intuitively, deep down. You know that journey relates to you. It relates to us. That's why we love it. That's why we watch it. It motivates us. It inspires us. It makes us feel like we can make it. And so, of course, we have these movies to show us as examples. They're a little more dramatic, right? Every good movie has a little bit of drama, because if it's really boring, why would you watch it, right? But that's why we come up with these movies. That's why they come into our minds, and the screenwriters and the playwriters, that's why we create stories like this, because it speaks to exactly the process that we're going through in our everyday lives, number one. And number two, why do we love them? Because they're true. Maybe not literally true, right? Like well, I'm not going to say that there's not some magical wizarding school somewhere. Maybe I don't know about it. I don't know. Right? But whether or not the movies are true literally doesn't mean that the story isn't true. The meaning of it isn't true. The meaning is true. That's why we watch it, because it resonates with us and we can see the truth and the wisdom in it. So today I want to inspire you guys to understand and to know, to have the faith and the trust to know that you are the hero. And whatever unique challenges you are facing, they are only for you. They've only been created just for you. And the reason they've been created for you exclusively is because only you have the ability to go through them. If they're not for your friend or your neighbor or your loved ones, and their journeys and challenges aren't for you either. You have your own, and yours are unique only to you, because it's exactly what you are designed to do in this life. It's exactly what you're designed to do. You were divinely created to overcome the challenges that you are facing, whatever they are. And I know that there's some traumatic, horrific, terrible challenges out there in the world that I wouldn't wish on anybody. And I know some people have gone through those challenges that they wouldn't wish on anybody. And it's not about avoiding the challenges or wishing that they hadn't happened. It's about, what do you do when they do happen? How do you react? How do you respond? How does it make you stronger? What do you do with the wisdom? Remember, at the end, we get to share the wisdom that we've learned from our experiences with the world around us. We get to create meaning out of our experience and share it with our loved ones, with the world, with whoever that we've been called here to serve. And I know sometimes when I talk about this, that use this language, being called to serve, I know some of you might be thinking, like, well, what do you mean called to serve? Like, I'm not a business owner, or I don't have a job that serves people, like, or whatever. But each and every one of us has been called to serve in some capacity. It doesn't have to be big. It could be just your immediate family. It could be the stranger on the street that you walk past and you smile at that person, or make eye contact with them in such a way that acknowledges who they are as a human. And you could be the only person that smiled at them that day, and you can make their day. It could be, the little old lady that you help cross the street, right? Our cliches. It could be the child that you see that falls down and skins their knee, and you happen to be there to help them up and make them feel better. It could be anybody. It could be anything. You serving and making an impact and sharing who you are and your experience with the world doesn't have to be like this grand, huge, like, you don't have to write a book or be on Oprah or anything like that. You could. You don't have to. It could literally just be you sharing your love and wisdom and guidance with the people in your circle. It could be as simple as that. And when you do that, that makes you a hero. That's what makes you a hero. When you take what you've been through courageously, as you've gone through your challenges, you take what you've been through and you courageously and openly and authentically choose to share it with the people around you, so that you can help them. You could be the hero that they've been waiting for, to show them the way that it's okay, to show them hope, and to give them encouragement along the way that maybe you didn't get to have. And maybe that's why you want to give that encouragement, because maybe you didn't, maybe you wished that you had the encouragement, and you wished that you had a certain kind of resource that you couldn't find at the time. And so now that you've been through it, now that you have the experience, now you're like, well, I'm going to make sure no one else has to go through that. That's how the world gets changed. That's what creates world changers. Is people who have been through hell and back, or whatever, and they are willing to share their experience with the world. And not only are you the hero for someone else, but that's when you become the hero to yourself too. Because now you get to stand in your truth and in your wisdom, and in that knowing that you did it, you made it, you kicked it, you totally kicked it. made it through. So my friends, you are the hero. You are the hero. You've always been the hero. And you will continue to be the hero no matter what pops up for you in your life. Because it's meant for you and you alone. And you absolutely have the strength and the endurance and the divine guidance, because it's always there. Even when you feel completely alone, it's always there. You have everything you need to move forward courageously through whatever challenge it is that you're facing at any point in your life. You've got this. You are the hero. So I hope that encourages you today. And I hope that you have the courage to share your wisdom with the world around you. If you are watching this, I would love to hear or to see in the comments, what challenges have you overcome in your lifetime already? What wisdom do you have to share with the world? Be the hero. Be the world changer. Do not sit there in silence thinking, oh, okay, this was a great video. Thanks, Kim. It's really something to think about. It's insightful. No! Open your mouth. Speak. Share your voice. Use your words. Type. Write. I don't care how you do it. But don't let your experience and your wisdom die with you. Speak it out, write it out, shout it out, share it with the world around you, because that's what you are meant to do. You are the hero. You get to lead it. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Kind of got on my pedestal there for a second, but truly, this is part of what I stand for. Part of what I stand for, if you've followed me for a while, then you have heard that my core values are acceptance, empowerment, and faith. This is where, well, all three of them actually come to play in this, right? Acceptance of the path that you on and who you are. Empowerment to actually speak it out into the world and share your truth and your wisdom, and the faith to know that you've got this. You've got this. The faith to move through it, to trust it, to be guided, to lead, to follow. All of that, like everything is faith and taking those steps. So I get a little fired up when I talk about stuff like this, because this is part of my mission, is to speak my own truth to all of you and to share that wisdom and to be a teacher of love and acceptance of who you are at the highest possible level, and to empower you to see that and to feel it and be it and understand it and know that it's true. So I'm going to let you go, like I said. I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing, amazing Holistic Wellness Wednesday. I highly encourage you to speak your truth in some kind of way this week. Speak your truth in some kind of way this week. Share something of value. Share some part of you, some piece of wisdom with someone this week. And I would love to hear about it. All right. If this served you, please share this video and speak your truth today and every day. Have an amazing Holistic Wellness Wednesday. I love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.